Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to College Hoops. Tonight, your one and only source of popular college basketball news. We will be here all season long. Cannot wait. The games are just a couple of weeks away. Definitely excited to get the season started. So, a couple quick news stories for you guys here. As we talked about last week, Mark Few was suspended for a DUI he received in September. He has just been sentenced. So he was going to originally have to spend up to 5 days in jail. However, he worked it down to 24 hours of community service and a $1,000 fine. So nothing too heavy there for Mark Few. Definitely got off easy there, I would say. He's going to be back for Gonzaga's second game of the year against one of the top teams in the country, the Texas Longhorns, on November 13th in Spokane. Mark your calendars. That is going to be a big game. Moving on to a little name, image, and likeness news, a little NIL news out there. Ty Washington, the fourth-ranked point guard in this year's class, a Kentucky point guard, just signed a deal with Porsche to be a part of their ad campaign. He received almost a $100,000 car to start out, so he's out there getting that money, getting that paper. Kentucky, he's leading the Kentucky Wildcats this year, the number 10 ranked team in the country. He's definitely going to be a star for them, and he's out there getting that paper even before the season starts. Moving on to our third and final quick news here this week. The American Athletic Conference is reportedly going to have 6 teams apply to join the conference this week. They would be joining the conference in a couple of years as soon as the contract agreement falls through, after it's up in a few years. So the schools that are going to be joining are FAU, or prospectively going to be joining FAU, Charlotte University, North Texas, UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio, Rice University, and UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham. So they will all be applying this week. It will be interesting to see how big the American will be in a few years. So now, moving on from the news, we're going to be going into a little segment that we're going to do the next couple of weeks. The first week, this week, so we're going to do 5 sleepers. And this week, we're doing 5 sleepers from Power 5 conferences. So next week, we will hopefully be doing 5 sleepers from everyone outside of the Power 5. So for this week, we got 5 sleepers. The first one from the ACC is the Syracuse Orange. People always rank this team too low, but Jim Boeheim and his bunch are always there, always playing well in the 2-3 zone. You cannot deny the consistency there. Also, Buddy Boeheim, back. He's one of the best scorers in the ACC. He is back in Syracuse. Next, Jimmy Boeheim, the other brother. They got all 3 family members now. There in Syracuse, transferred from Cornell. He's a great shooter. He's going to add to that team. Look for them to make a run come March. In the Big Ten, we got Indiana. The name Trace Jackson Davis should just say enough. This guy is one of the best big men in the Big 12, or Big 10, much less the country. Surprised he didn't go pro this past year, but he's going to play big this year, and I think Indiana is absolutely going to be a better team. They need to shoot the ball better, though, but look to Indiana to make some noise in the Big Ten. Going over to the Big 12, we've got TCU, Texas Christian, the Horned Frogs from TCU. They've got some good 3-point shooters. They got 3 good scorers in the transfer portal. 3 guys who average 12 or more a game, along with one of the best freshmen in the country, Mike Miles, coming back, the sophomore guard this year. TCU is going to make some noise in the Big 12. Keep them on your radar. Going over to the SEC, a really packed SEC conference this year. They look to be really, really good. We got Florida, the Florida Gators. It's hard to count them out, but I feel like people are this year. I've seen a lot of rankings with them down at 7th or 8th in the SEC, and I think that's way too low. They've got 7 returning seniors. That's right, 7. Count them up. And at least 5 are playing regular minutes. Of those 5, the most impactful is 7-footer Colin Castleton. This guy blocks over 3 shots a game in college. Unreal. Great player in the middle. Florida is definitely going to make some noise in the SEC and hopefully come March. Lastly, in the Pac-12, the Washington State Cougars. I am picking to have a big year this year. They have not been good for a long time. However, I think this is the year they turn it around. It's head coach Kyle Smith's 3rd year. They brought in one of the best scoring transfers in the country in Michael Flowers at point guard. As long as they can keep the turnovers down and improve the half-court offense, this team is going to absolutely be better. They're going to make some noise in the Pac-12, and I think they're going to make some noise in March as well. So that's going to do it for the 5 sleepers for this week. Next week, we are going to do 5 sleepers from non-Power 5 schools, which will obviously include, power schools such as the Big East. They're just not Power 5. So, on that note, we're going to move on to take a look at the AP poll, which for the first official AP poll came out this past week. Let's take a look. Alrighty, so we are taking a look here at the first AP poll of the season. Looking at the top, things look pretty similar to what we looked at last week with the unofficial rankings. Gonzaga at the top, UCLA right behind, followed by Kansas, Villanova, and Texas rounding out the top 5. However, there are a couple of teams that are definitely a bit of a surprise here in comparison to the last rankings we looked at. The first one, the number 12 Memphis Tigers, climbing all the way up to number 12 here out of the American Conference. Coach Penny Hardaway has done a great job of recruiting here. He's got some of the most talented freshmen in the country, including Imoni Bates, who is definitely going to be a one-and-done NBA superstar. The next one, right behind them, the Oregon Ducks hopping all the way up to 13. Definitely a bit of a surprise there. Oregon's always got a really solid team. They can always shoot the ball, play defense. Definitely a great program there at the University of Oregon. Now, lastly, we're going to look at the UConn Huskies, a team that, a lot of people have written off here this season. They lost their best scorer, James Bouknight, to the NBA draft last year. A lot of people looking down on this squad. However, I think they are definitely sleeping on them. Although they're in the number 24 team in the country, I think they are contenders to win the Big East Conference. All right, everyone, that is just about going to do it for us here today at College Hoops Tonight. We hope you enjoyed, and we will be back next Friday. We're going to be doing once a week until the season starts, and we're going to ramp it up to twice a week, baby. We are going to get it going for this college season. It is going to be a good one. But thank you for tuning in tonight, and you've been watching College Hoops Tonight. I'm Austin Samuels. Good night.